Hi, I'm Chip, and I've been playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, for a couple of days now. Actually, as of the writing and recording of this video, it has been 3 days since the game was released. Gaiden actually was the very first game I ever pre-ordered since I wanted to get a first impressions video as soon as I could. I figured I'll play 2 chapters and then I'll make the video. I finished the main story in 15 hours and played for 2 days straight. But this video is still a first impressions review since I haven't delved into every nook and cranny of the game. So what do I think of the game so far? I think the game is great. It is exactly what I wanted from a shorter Like a Dragon game and more. From the heart-wrenching story to the blood-pumping gameplay, it's what RG Studio is known for in a 10 to 15 hour package. Without further ado, these are my first impressions for Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. But before we begin, I'm gonna have to ask you to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want more content like this. It helps the channel out a ton with the algorithm, and hitting the bell icon will let you know whenever I post, so you never miss a video. Let's start with the environment. In my opinion, RGG always nails their settings, and this game is no different. The main setting of this game is Sotenbori, Osaka, and although we have visited this setting a couple times before, I'm not sure if it has ever looked this good, especially the lighting. I don't know what it is, but the lighting of this game is spectacular. Like a Dragon games have always looked great, especially at night. But this is the first game to bring me awe towards the daytime. Walking through a busy street in Like a Dragon never gets old, because you get a sense that the world is lived in, and the same can be said in Like a Dragon Gaiden. The sounds of the crowds, the music coming from the buildings, the bells in the convenience store, it immerses you into the world very effectively. I always love diegetic sounds as it really immerses you into the game, and I think that RGG always does it wonderfully. Sotenbori is a little small though, so in comparison to larger games in the series like Yakuza Like a Dragon and Lost Judgment, which both take place in the same area, it does feel a little limiting. To counteract this problem, RGG added a new area for players to visit called the Castle. It's in all the trailers. Remember when I talked about lighting? Well, that applies here by tenfold. The neon lights, the lasers that spew out, the fireworks. That, along with the actual things that canonically happen over there, makes it all feel like an underground playground filled with debauchery, hedonism, and sensory overload. From the way I talk about the castle, you could probably figure out that this is where the Colosseum is, and this makes a great segue because we're going to be talking about gameplay next. Let's start with the combat, as combat is one of the many things that make an RGG game an RGG game. This game brings back the brawler gameplay that we know and love, and amplifies it to 11. Let's start with the new fighting style that is introduced in this game, the Agent style. The Agent style is a low damage, high speed fighting style that Joryu learned during his time with the Daidoji. The style feels fluid and fancy, with flurries of punches, kicks, and elbows. It sort of reminds me of Yagami's Tiger style from the Judgment series, especially because of the fact that each button press results in a couple punches instead of just one. But what makes Agent style different are the gadgets that come with it. There are 4 gadgets that Joryu gets through the game. You start off with the Spider, a tangling string that Joryu uses to throw enemies around or bring them to him. The Hornet, which are autonomous combat drones that Joryu calls upon to disrupt and distract enemies. The Firefly, which is a cigarette-shaped ticking time bomb. And the Serpent, which are essentially booster shoes. Let me go on a little tangent here. I think that everyone in the Like a Dragon community, God, it feels weird saying that, loves the goofy physics that the Dragon engine gives us. And these gadgets give us so much when it comes to goofy physics. You don't know the amount of times I've used the Spider to fling people around the map, because it gives me a good laugh. It also lets you do something like this. Tekken! Tekken! It's super fun. Once again, I haven't really delved into every nook and cranny of this game, so I can't say for certain how things might change regarding the gadgets in the later upgrades. But for now, I can say that this fighting style is a welcome addition to Joryu's arsenal. And then we have the Yakuza style. Yeah! The classic fighting style of the Dragon of Dojima. It hits hard, it does a lot of damage, and is absolutely great to use. It's your iconic brutal street brawl style that everyone loves, but with a little bit more pizzazz. Again, I have not fully completed the upgrade tree, so there's not a lot to talk about for the style, especially if you're a veteran of the series, because this fighting style has been used many times before. I mean, it is his fighting style. But whenever I use the style, it always reminds me of how iconic it actually is, and it's always a blast to use to beat punks up into oblivion. Also, the tiger drop is in the game. Other than the combat, there are some minor details that I noticed. Kiryu's running animation feels somewhat smoother than the previous Dragon Engine games, and there are some alterations to the way that Kiryu turns, which results in this. As I stated previously, there is a Coliseum, and there's this new system called the Joryu clan system that they implemented, but other than trying out Majima, Saejima, and Daigo, which was extremely fun by the way, I haven't really gotten through with completing that aspect of the game, so I won't be talking about it in this video. Just know that fighting at the Coliseum nets you a lot of money, so go ahead and grind through the Coliseum if you want to get rich. Another way to make money is with the Akame network, and this is where you can find a lot, if not all, of the sub-stories. You get rewarded for completing sub-stories with Akame points, as well as cash for some of them. These two are used to upgrade your skills, which is your usual progression system in the Like a Dragon series. I think that the sub-stories are fine. Some of them have great stories, while some are just a little tedious. There are also some that are extremely funny. Like, check this one out. None other than this. Shut DDT! So stupid. Oh my god, it's so stupid. I like Akame as a character though, so all is well. And of course, the minigames return. It's the usual minigames that you've come to know and love, with some new additions. The Cabaret Club brings in real girls to portray the hostesses, one of whom you might actually recognize. And there's a new song at the karaoke bar. The new song is great, I really enjoy it, so you should totally go check that out when you do get the game. And finally, let's talk about the story. I won't be spoiling the game for y'all, so I will talk about it as briefly as I can. The story is captivating. It tells the story of Kazuma Kiryu between the events of Yakuza 6 and Yakuza Like a Dragon. It goes through the problems that Kiryu had to deal with in order to be with Ichiban at the dissolution of the Omi Alliance. It's a shorter story, but it is filled with action, struggles, and emotions. In this game, Kiryu almost always looks downright sad. It's extremely disheartening to see him this way. Yet, he continues to push on forward for the sake of his family and friends. Throughout the journey, we encounter new people that we've never seen before and experience the hardships and emotional pain that Kiryu had to face during this time. In my opinion, the story of the game is short but sweet. I think that the game's story is great as it is, even with the shorter runtime that it has. It didn't really leave me wanting for more, as it ties up the loose ends that Yakuza Like a Dragon had when it comes to Kazuma Kiryu. One potential issue that this game has is that people who are just beginning to engage with the series may have a significantly different experience compared to those who are already deeply involved. In my opinion, this game is not the best place to start with when it comes to the Like a Dragon series, as you will lose out on a lot of the references and emotions that come with playing through both Yakuza 6 and Yakuza Like a Dragon. I straight up cried at the ending of this game, but someone new to the series probably won't have the same reaction as I did, since the emotional weight of the scene may not be as heavy for the newcomers. I think that you should play the other mainline series entries, or at least the two that I mentioned before you start with this game. Overall though, I loved the story, and I think that Like a Dragon fans would as well. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, is a great game. I personally enjoyed the time I've had with it so far. I think that I would like to delve into the story a bit further when a bit more time has passed, so that people get the chance to play the game and enjoy the story for themselves before I go and spoil the entire game for y'all. I recommend this game for the people who are already invested in the series, as newcomers to the game may not get the feel for the story just by playing this game alone. For those of you who are already into the series, this game is a phenomenal look at our beloved main character before his final game in the series that comes out very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Look, I know, I haven't been active as of recently. I'm sorry for that, because I've been so busy with schoolwork, and now I'm doing an internship, which is pretty cool, I think. But besides that, I have been wanting to get back into the Yakuza series, or I guess now it's called the Like a Dragon series. Just feels so weird to say, but I've been wanting to get back into it, especially because some of the newer games are coming out very soon. I haven't really been playing a lot of Yakuza, which is weird because this channel is basically a Yakuza channel at this point. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter recently, and I find the game to be extremely fun. So I might make a video on that in the near future, or maybe just the future, because the list of videos that I want to make has gotten so long. I've been wanting to make a deeper dive on the Judgment series, especially on Yagami himself, because I think that Yagami as a character is extremely fascinating. Tekken 8 is coming out very soon too, and so of course I'm gonna have to make a video on that. I also want to talk about other games that I've been getting into as of recently, but I don't have a set schedule as of yet, but hopefully in the near future, I can be a little bit more consistent with my workflow so that I can make more videos for you guys. Anyway, if you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. I appreciate every single one. And if you want to discuss anything about the game, please do comment down below. Though, please try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. I love reading your comments, and I will do my best to reply to every single one. Thank you once again for watching. Remember to stay kind and stay chipper.